Hi, I'm Jessica. Marcy asked me to talk to you a little bit about how I teach letters in the classroom. A couple years ago, I was doing Letter of the Week, and I talked to Marcy about it. She gave me the book No More Letter of the Week, so it kind of gave me some good information on how to kind of change my teaching on how I do letters. So the last 2 years, I've noticed there's a big difference on the kids' knowledge of letter identification and letter sounds. Usually by the end of winter checkpoint or beginning of spring, most of the kids already know most of uppercase and lowercase and most of their sounds. So it seems to be working pretty well. So this is kind of a little insight on what I do. You can certainly, do whatever works for you, but this seems to be working for me. So over the whole school year, I do about 4 letter cycles. We go through the whole alphabet 4 times. And I usually start the first cycle after a couple weeks of school. So for our first cycle, we do the body pictures. I send home this paper, blank, of course, which each child, and they bring it back to school with pictures that start with that letter. And then in the middle here, we take a body picture in the classroom of that letter, and then we make a big class book out of it. So they like to look at that all school year. We keep that in our class library. And then during large group, I use the letter sticks that come with the Handwriting Without Tears, and I put magnets on the back. So then our letter helper, whatever letter we're doing that day, this will be up on the board, and then they use the letter sticks to build the letter, and then I use the verbiage, big line, big curve, little curve, etc. And then they build that letter, and then sometimes during transitions I have them just write a little letter on our board back there before they line up. And I do a letter a day. I guess I didn't explain that. So like during the whole 5-day school week, we do 4 letters, and then on Friday we review what letters we've done that week. So either during a small group time or large group time, or sometimes I've done things outside with like relay races. We incorporate all the letters we've done that week and put them into one activity. So that kind of helps recap what we've done over the week. And this last year I did a Venn diagram for our first cycle of which letters have straight lines, which letters have curvy lines, and which letters have both. So they kind of got a good grasp on that, and we talked about, more and less and the same, and what their ideas were on that. And we also do visual phonics, which works good on letter sounds. And I use the Jack Hartman song that they show in the visual phonics class, so they seem to like that a lot too. Let's see. For my second letter cycle, I do what's called a mystery box. So I send a box home with the letter helper, and they pick out a letter out of our bag here, and whatever letter they pick out, that is what they have to bring from home that starts with this letter. And then they can't tell their friends what they brought. We have to guess. So the child and their parents come up with clues about what's in the box, and then we have to figure out what's in the box from the clues and by what letter we are doing. So they seem to like that also. And then for my second letter cycle, we charted uppercase and lowercase. So if the uppercase and lowercase look the same, then we put it on the same side. If they look different, then we put them on the different side. So that kind of gave them a different idea of the connection between uppercase and lowercase, and if they do look the same or not. And then again, we graph, talked about more and less. And then I put the letters on each of the paint sticks. So I also use these, like I said, outside or in the hallway. We have races or we match them with lowercase letters, so they seem to like that also. For my third letter cycle, I use the Letter People. So we have a whole set of Letter People puppets, and then the books that go with them. So each day, whatever letter we're doing, I read the book, and then the letter helper gets to hold the letter person puppet, and then we talk about that letter and what sound it makes. And at this time, I'm doing vocabulary words to go with our read alouds, so that also helps with letter identification. That's about it for the third letter cycle. And then our last letter cycle, we use the felt letters again, and I hide them around the room. So the letter N, I would put it on something that starts with the letter N around the classroom, and then the letter person would have to go find it. And then after they find it, then we come up with words that start with that letter, as many as we can think of, and sometimes they even come up with words that I don't even think of. So I think that's a great thing. And I cover up, you can see our alphabet up here on the wall. I cover up the letter that we're doing that day, of what letter's missing, and they have to figure out what letter comes after or before to figure out what letter is missing on our alphabet. Let's see. So that's about all I do. And like I said, I've only done this for 2 years, so it is kind of trial and error right now, but it seems to be working a lot better than Letter of the Week. So if you have any questions, Marcy can give you my email address. I hope I explained that good enough for you to understand. So thank you.